Alright, let me just quickly set up. Yeah, the last video wasn't that perfect that I wished to be, and I want to talk about that, what I learned about it, and about the subject that I had recently on my video about gaming. I want to kind of like summarize it more better. Welcome back to Toqir Space, and today I want to talk about the last video uploaded. I'm not quite happy with it, and I did some research. I actually watched some videos about it, how to make the best stories somehow, or can I like have an let's say red line to follow, how to proceed that. And let me just quickly look up into my smart notebook what I wrote down about Casey Neistat, what he taught me. Actually, there are three things about a video that always be structured: the beginning, the middle part, and of course the ending. And in the beginning you should always set up your whole scene, and at the second part it's always about the conflict, and last part is of course this resolution, the solution about the problem and what we learned about it. So I was kind of like thinking about that in my last video I was more like a presentation, like I would do in a school. It doesn't feel like more natural to me. I think I'm still learning, in a learning phase, to adapt on it and improve it. But I want to try to recap or let's say refilm in a way the message of my last video. About my last video was kind of like all about gaming, and it was not like really a quiet perspective, a message about it, about gaming. And I will just try to split it up in some points. Yeah, so actually the first point is all about the I want to split up the last video in some categories about motivation, about the games in general, and about why gaming doesn't feel like in the old times. And I recently found out really interesting. There's actually a really smart scientist that I recently found out. His name is Andrew Haberman, and he's kind of like describing the aspects about dopamine, about feeling that satisfaction or motivation, the pleasant feeling when you're doing something new. And I think the main problem that we have currently is about gaming, that it's kind of like repeating, and we are just playing it, then we know what's happening, especially in those kind of like competitive gaming. It's repeating, it's nothing new, and I think we kind of like trapped in a cycle where we are not that motivated anymore to try something new. So I actually found out a solution about that, where he described in the video, or did an experiment with two kind of rats, where one had a lot of dopamine rush, let's say dopamine food, and the other one had just normal food without dopamine, and he still kind of like enjoyed it, but on a different level. So dopamine is more like a motivation, let's say, maybe if I write it down or visualize it with my skills. Alright, let's just quickly draw what I meant with feeling of the dopamine rush. Here you can see a super, look at my artistic skills here. Jeez. Alright, look at this guy, that's you. And this guy wants to be on the top. You don't want to feel down, you want to feel good, you want to feel motivated. You want to enjoy the journey. And the thing is, where we start gaming, everything is new and we start enjoying it, we're exploring new things, and then you really feel motivated. And kind of like when you're achieving something really difficult, you feel like really you achieve something, and that thing motivates you to keep going. The only thing is, when you game all the time, you're not getting the same feeling, because you maybe just some lower, your level is here, but you want your level to be here to feel really good. Alright. Yeah, the problem is you want to feel good, you want to feel motivated, you want to feel and enjoy the things that you had in the beginning. And the best thing or the solution about that is to just take a break and step back and do something completely different, completely new. Just reset the level or the amount of, let's say, you're getting with the gaming and you're trying to achieve when you try to repeat it in a quick way. It's like the quick path, like as well if you're using social media, where you're trying to get those kind of pleasure, dopamine rush, where you see one video. I'm also guilty on it. I watch way too much clips where I get trapped, and you're kind of like feeling like what I'm doing. And when you're getting trapped in this cycle of, let's say, in social media or even gaming, where you're not enjoying it, you should just step back and take a break. That's the best thing you can do. Take a break and start something completely new. After a while, I think when you're coming back, especially for me, I had this experience. When you come back after a long break and start playing again, it feels much more refreshing. More in detail, if you're interested about these scientific viewpoints, I think Andrew Haberman can a lot better describe the things that I probably could. Maybe check him out, and maybe you can write down in the comments what kind of things you do when you feel unmotivated, what you want to try to achieve, or how do you deal with those kind of, let's say, problems when you're facing those kind of things. That would be quite interesting. Maybe there's a different way. Maybe I can learn something about more it. Otherwise, yeah, that's it for today. I think I'm trying out something new with this camera. Alright, thank you very much for joining. See you in my next video.